Right, let's start today's session. Right, last lecture we were discuss basic introduction of Python full stack development subjects, right? So yesterday there was a first demo. In that first demo, we discuss in Python full stack development what subjects I'm going to cover and each and every subject purpose, like Python, Django, REST API, as well as Flask framework, UI basics, MySQL, and SQLite 3. Okay, so to become a Python full stack developer, you must and should learn all these 6 subjects. In that, Python is a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. Means complete coding part and logic part we are going to write using Python language only. And Django is a framework which is used to develop web applications. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application in general. So Django is a Python-based web development framework. So it's completely written in Python language. That's what Django is, a Python-based framework. As I said, to learn Django, Python is mandatory. Okay, without Python, you can't go for Django framework learning process. After Django, there is another framework like REST API. So REST stands for Representational State Transfer. API means Application Programming Interface. So REST API is also a framework which is used to generate the APIs. API is a software tool which enable the Django web application to communicate with other applications. So in general, in real time, one web application need to be communicate with other web application. It's common. So that is possible with via API only. To prepare APIs for web applications, REST API framework is compulsory required. So this is another framework which I am going to teach you after Django only. That means REST API framework required. The prerequisite subjects are Python as well as Django. And there is another framework which I am going to teach, that is Flask. It is also a Python-based web development framework. Using Flask, we can develop single-page web applications. And Flask is a micro framework which is used to develop small-scale or microservices programming applications we can build. To learn Flask, Python is mandatory. And the programming language Python and frameworks, totally 3 frameworks, Django, REST API, Flask, and one database tool like MySQL or SQLite 3, all are comes into backend development process. And in front-end development process, we are going to learn UI basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. So this is what I explained in the last lecture. Okay. Today we will focus completely Python introduction. Because without Python knowledge, we can't start with the Django framework development in Python. So first 45 working days to 2 months, we will focus on Python. After learning Python, then we'll start Django development. That is web application development purpose, Django framework we are going to start. So as I said, Python is the core language for all other frameworks which we need to learn in full stack development. So better to concentrate first Python. After that, you can go for rest of the subjects like Django, REST API, Flask. So Python is a programming language, right? Which is used to write coding part for the application development. But what type of language means? Python is a general purpose programming language. General purpose programming language. What is the meaning of general purpose? See, sir, in any language, if it is general purpose language, that means using that language, we can develop general applications like web applications, network-based applications, gaming applications, database applications, and data science, data analysis, AWS, DevOps, and many more. So Python designed for general category application development, not specific type of application development. Once we learn Python, using Python code, we can build different types of applications. That's what we are calling it as general purpose application development. It's a general purpose language. Next, Python is a high level language. That means if any language is called high level language, using that language, all the low level activities can be managed by that language only. For example, as a programmer, if I start write code, so in my program, so whenever I start run, so for executing that program, internally memory is required, security policies are required, and also uh, memory deallocation, allocation process is required. Some internal process is required. For all the internal process or low level activities purpose, as a programmer, we are not going to write any explicit logic. So internally, Python only will take care that all internal logics. So just because of it is a high level language. So all the high level language, not only Python I'm speaking, if any language is called high level means that all the low level activities can be taken care by programming language itself. So no need to write any explicit logic as a programmer. So there are garbage collector assistant is there, for example. Using that garbage collector assistant, automatically memory can be managed for your programs. So no need to write any logic for managing the memory. So that's what it is, a high level language. All the low level activities can be taken care by Python. Next, Python is interpreted programming language. Interpreted programming language. So generally, we know about basic languages like C language, C++, Java, C#, .NET. These are all compiler-based languages like C, C++, Java, C#, .NET or compiler-based languages. And I'm talking about interpreted based, right? Interpreted based means Python is an interpreted based programming language. Yes. See, sir, in C language, C++, Java, C#, .NET, no matter how many number of lines of code you have written. For example, 10 lines of logic code have written in Java or .NET, okay, or C, C++. The moment when I start run the program, whole program at a time will check. Means how many number of lines of code is there, like 10 lines, 20 lines, 100 lines. And total program at a time will process and check. And in that process, if that compilation errors, suppose 2, 3 errors, compilation errors are there, all the errors will be disclosed in the error window, especially what we observed in these languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, because these are all compiler based languages. So how many number of lines of code you have written in C, C++, Java? And whenever we start run the program, whole program at a time will process and compile and check. So after successful compilation only, you will see the output in output window. In case in your program, there are several compilation errors, like how many number of errors are there, that many number of errors will be disclosed. But whereas in Python, it's a interpreted based programming language, I said. Interpreted based means what? No matter how many number of lines of logic code have written in Python, code will execute line by line only. Means if I write 10 lines, first control jump into first line. If it is correct, then control jump into next line. Even that is correct, control jump into another line. Like line by line code will check and execute. That is happening in Python. So line by line code is going to execute. That is interpreted based. Whole program at a time will check and execute. That is compiler based. That is the difference between Python language and other languages. So Python is interpreted language. Only line by line code will process and check. That is what you will never see in Python execution process, like multiple number of errors, like more than one error you will never see. Even though your program is having multiple number of errors, like 10, 15, and first error where it is occurred, in which line, that line error only it will disclose. And after that, you have to solve that error. We have to move on to the next line. So line by line code will check and execute. That is called interpreted based language. Text Python is a dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed. This is one of the important feature, like dynamically typed. So all these languages, like existing languages, C, C++, Java, C Sharp, .NET are statically typed programming languages. Statically typed. What is statically typed and then dynamically typed? Difference is what? I'll tell you that. See, generally, if you go through any language like C, C++, Java, .NET, if programmer wants to declare the variable, they follow this syntax commonly, like data type, variable name equals to value. Okay, example, data type is integer type. Variable name is A, value is 100, for example. This is the common syntax which we will follow. So first we have to decide the data type, variable name, and then value. So based upon the value, programmer has to declare the variable data type properly. In case if programmer declared string, it's give error because your value is what? Number, like integer type. But you have decided what? String data type. It's a wrong data type, right? So in other languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, programmer must have the clarity on data types. So priorly, he has to decide during the program writing time only, he has to decide data type of the variable based upon the value. If your variable value is 10.8, then programmer has to declare the data type as float only. If variable value is 10, programmer has to decide the data type like integer. So this is statically typed, means during the program writing time only, programmer has to decide the data type of the variables only. Statically typed means during the program writing time. What about dynamically typed means during the program execution time? Okay, dynamically typed meaning is what? During the program execution time. So Python is a dynamically typed, means no need to specify the data type while declaring the variable in programming type. For example, here in Python, what syntax we follow means here simply variable name equals to value. And not even semicolon is not required at the end, a equal to 100. That's it. So we don't need to specify any data type explicitly for this variable because Python is a dynamically typed language. Meaning is what? Dynamically typed means during the program execution, based upon the value, Python will decide the data type for its variable based on the value. For suppose here I am assigning 100 value to my variable A. Internally, Python allot what data type for the A variable? Integer type. If I decide 10.8, internally Python assign what data type of this variable? Float type, like this. Suppose here I'm trying to give group of characters. Internally Python decide what data type of this A? String type on group of characters. So don't need to specify any data type explicitly from programmer end while writing the logic in Python. So only you just focus what value do you want assigned to the variable, and based upon the value, data type will be decided internally by Python only, sir. So that's what we are saying. It is a dynamically typed programming language. For suppose quick example, let me open ideally. So don't worry about this ideally. I'll tell you how to get this ideally software. Later, I'll show you how to download Python software and install. At that time, you will understand clearly how it is Python ideally you will get. Okay. So ideally stands for Integrated Development Learning Environment. This is the default editor tool. Once we start install Python software for the first time, you will get this editor tool that is ideally. So I'm just opening ideally just to show this data type is required or not. See here, if I try to take a value 10 and print a, and you will see data type, no need to specify for the variable a. Do you want to know, just for curiosity, what data type is assigned for your variable? Then you will type of a. Type is a built-in function of a is a variable, and now press enter. Python decides for your variable a is integer data type. Because of what? Based upon the value. 10 is a value for my variable. That's what Python decides, integer data type for my variable. In case if I try to give int a equals to 20 or something, it will give error because you have specified the data type from your end. According to Python, actually data type no need to define from the programmer end because it is dynamically typed language. When I press enter, it will say invalid syntax. So according to Python rules, you need not to specify any data type explicitly. Based upon the value, variable has to get automatically data type. Okay. Suppose here a value 89.7, a printed, and do you want to know what type of data type assigned for your variable a? Type of a, float type. So Python decides float data type for my variable a, that is 89.7. So this is exactly data type declaration without having any data types, and no need to specify the data type during the variable declaration. Just be focused on variable declaration and value assignment only, because it's a dynamically typed language. Dynamically means during the program execution time, based upon the value what you assign to the variable automatically get data type from Python. But these are all statically typed languages. In these languages, programmer must declare the data type before going to assign value to the variable. Next, Python is a case-sensitive programming language. Yes, case-sensitive means cases are very particular. Means while declaring the names with the variable names or class names or function names, any names, you must and should specify the proper naming convention. Like if I declare lowercase, you have to be access that variables in lowercase thrown. If you are declaring the variable names are uppercase, you have to access through uppercase name only. So very particular about cases. So that is case sensitive language. But suppose here you can see, let me open ideally back. My variable name is a value 10. I can access a, correct. But if you try to access capital A, you will get error. So capital A is not defined. Okay, you define with lowercase a, you must be access that value with lowercase only. If you are trying to access with uppercase, then it will give error. Name A is not defined like this one. So very important, these are the cases. So what type of language ultimately I can say Python is nothing but it's a general purpose, high level, interpreted, dynamically typed, and then case sensitive programming language we can say that. So general purpose means using Python language, we can build different types of applications like web application, data science application, data analysis, okay, and many more applications. High level means all the low level activities will take care by Python internally. So no need to write any explicit logic for low level activities like memory management, security, and so on. Interpreted language means line by line code will check and execute no matter how many lines of code you have written in Python programs. Dynamically typed means during the program execution time only, Python will decide the data types for its variable based upon the value. Case sensitive programming language means cases are very particular. Lowercase or uppercase characters you have to mention and you have to use it same way only. So this is what type of language it is, Python. Next, see sir, Python was designed and developed by Python was designed and developed by Guido van Rossum. He is the creator of Python in the first time in the year of 1989. Python was designed and developed by Guido van Rossum. He is the man behind Python, which is in the year of 1989. The first version of Python released into the market in the year of 1991. So what are the basic versions of Python and which version we are going to use? These are version number 0.9.0. This is first version 0.9.0 and version number next one is 1.x. These are the versions 0.9.0, 1.x, 2.x, 3.x. Right now we are in third version. There are several versions or their subversions which I will discuss, and 0 version, 1 version, 2 and 3. We are in third version. Do you want to know about versions much more? Then I strongly recommend to visit official website python.org. If you visit this python.org website, you will come to know all the version history. But even though the author Guido van Rossum first time designed and developed Python language, but later the team of people like Python Software Foundation, now Python is completely maintained by this team only, Python Software Foundation. So right now Python is maintained by Python Software Foundation. And if you go through official website python.org, and there you can see, let me open www.python.org. And this is the official website of Python. And do you want to see the version history? You can click on simply downloads. Once you click on downloads, there is a 3.1, 3.7. This is the latest downloaded version. Stable release version it is 3.1, 3.7. And if you scroll down slowly, and you will be able to see multiple number of versions, like all versions are there in this list. If at all do you want to use old versions like 3.10, 3.9, 3.8, 3.7, all subversions are available in this list of category. But you notice that in this list of versions, you don't find 2 version and below. Now you can see 2 below and 1 version. Only they are giving 2.0.1 onwards because Python Software Foundation people has stopped the support for 0 version as well as 1 versions. So they stopped the support for 0 and 1 version. You can't able to use 0 and 1 version in your development process. They are recommending you to download 2 and above versions so that you will get support from PSF, Python Software Foundation. If you really developing real-time implementation, and if you go through 2 above versions, if any problem occurs during the development process of using Python versions, they'll assist you. So 2 and above versions only we are going to use because Python Software Foundation stopped the support for 0 and 1 version. And Python is completely cross-platform or platform independent style. Meaning is what? You can download and install on any operating system like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and other operating system. Because it's a lightweight software and open source. Python is completely free and open source. No need to do any license for getting Python software. You can feel free to visit this official website python.org and download which version do you want and install it and enjoy the code and start development of the code only. And do you want to install Python software what are the prerequisites are required? Nothing. No prerequisites need to be installed in your computer directly. Normally, even if you no need to think about software requirements and hardware requirements, which is really required for Python installation, not required, sir, because it's a basic and lightweight software. To install this, no need to maintain any separate configuration in your laptop or device. As it is what device you are using, just go with that, it will work because it's a lightweight software. And before going to download and install, let me show you. First, you have to check in your computer Python exists or not. Means already in our mission, Python installed or not, you have to check once. How to check means, let me show you the steps. To check whether Python software installed or not. Installed or not. So for this purpose, I recommend just go to command prompt. Go to command prompt and then type Python space hyphen version. So simply go to command prompt, visit command prompt, normal operating system command prompt, and simply there you can type Python space hyphen version. If you type this command, so that you will notice whether in your laptop or device already Python installed or not, you will get. In case if you have already installed Python software, then you will get complete version of the software. Which version of that software that is. Okay. And if you don't have Python software or Python installed in your mission, you will get also notification Python was not found or Python is not recognized. So let me check in my computer right now. For my previous batches, I have already downloaded and installed Python software so that I'll get the version number. So just go to command prompt. So go to search and type command prompt. So there is a command prompt option you are going to see. And here you simply type Python space hyphen version. And the moment when I press enter button, and you will see in my case, you are noticing 3.13.7. That means in my computer, Python 3.13.7 software exists. So if you want, you can continue. But in case for the first time user from your end, if you type like this, you might not get this one because if you are not installed in your mission, automatically you will get Python was not recognized or Python is not found like that on. So let me show you the installation process because if you are new to this Python programming, then it's my responsibility to set step-by-step approach. So how to download and install Python software. Okay, let me show you quickly. But before that, I would like to uninstall Python software from my machine now because then only I can show you how to download it and install it, right? Yeah. So let me do this quickly. Uninstallation of Python software from your computer. So let's go to the search, type control panel. You know that every software exists in control panel list only. To uninstall, you have to visit control panel of your system and there is uninstall program process is there. Click on it and there I can see in my system already Python exists. So that's what I am trying to uninstall this Python 3.13.7. Right click on it and simply uninstall it. Just wait and it takes few seconds to uninstall. Means there is no Python is going to maintain in my system right now. Just because to show you the installations step-by-step process. And make sure that do you wish to start writing Python programs? First time you must and should install Python software. After Python software installation only, later you can set up your editor like PyCharm editor, Visual Studio Code, or any other editor which you like more. I'll also disclose how many possible ways to write Python code and execute with the proper editor installation. And finally, we will try to launch one editor. That editor through only we will continue all my lectures. So uninstall successfully done. So there is no Python software exist in my computer right now. So do you want me to check again version? Just check and you will see there this time you will not receive any version number. Rather than you will get Python was not found. So because I have uninstalled successfully Python software from my computer, that's what you will not see any result here. Let's go and check out. Go to command prompt. And now you can see there is a command called Python space hyphen version. When I press enter, you will see this Python was not found. The reason is what, sir? Just now I have uninstalled Python software, right? That's what we are getting. Python was not found only. So there is no Python software present in my computer. Okay. So first time, do you want to install Python software? Simply visit python.org official website. And there you can see download Python 3.1, 3.7. So do you want to install latest one? Simply download Python 3.137, click on it. Immediately you will see the installation done, download completed. So Python 3.1, 3.7.exe file. It's a lightweight software, sir. No need to have any configuration priorly to download and install this Python software. Okay, I have downloaded successfully. Let me close this. Let me close this and go to the downloads folder. And you can see downloads. And there is a Python 3.1, 3.7.exe file is there. Do you want to install it? Simply double click on it. Double click on this .exe and there you will see new dialog box will open, install 3.1, 3.7, 64-bit operating system. And before going to hit install now button, and I strongly recommend to use these two checkboxes compulsory. Activate these two checkboxes. Use admin privileges when installing py.exe and add python.exe to path only. So this is two checkboxes you must and should activate. So once you activate these two checkboxes, then you can proceed install now only. And what happen if we don't activate these two checkboxes in the installation procedure means nothing will happen. You can install it. But later, whenever you start writing Python code in IDLE software, okay, then due to interpreter path setting, you are unable to execute your Python code. That's the problem. So you better to activate these two checkboxes. And after that, simply click on install now. And do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Yes, means it will change completely. So it won't take much more time to finish the installation. As I said, it is a lightweight software. So setup progress and installing Python 3.1, 3.7. Just a moment, we'll get back our version and you can start write your programs now on. And notice this first step you must and should do this is only installation of Python software. So without Python installation, you can't proceed with any setup. Like later we will do multiple editor setup also, like PyCharm editor, Visual Studio Code editor, Notepad editor. So there are different ways to write Python code and execute. Okay. So setup was successfully done. And you can see again, once setup was successfully done, and simply you can go to command prompt and type again Python space hyphen version. If I press enter, you will see this 3.1, 3.7 is the version number. So just now we have uninstall and reinstall. We got version back clearly, right? Yes. So simply we are getting the version back. So Python space hyphen version 3.1, 3.7 editor is Python software installed successfully. So this is the confirmation whether Python installed or not. After that, see sir, for the first time when we download and install Python software, you will get a default editor. The default editor name is ideally integrated development learning environment. Integrated development learning environment. So this is the default editor which we will get. Okay. Yes. So with this default editor, we are going to write the logics. Integrated development learning environment. Apart from this default editor, there are different options are there. Different ways to write Python code and execute. Different ways to write Python code and execute. Yes, how many possible ways to write Python code and execute? There are several ways are there. One by one, we'll see that. First option, using interactive mode. And second option, using script mode. And option number 3, using IDLE software. Option number 4, I'm showing using PyCharm editor. This is our regular editor, which I'm going to use continuously in our lectures. And using VS Code. Yes, people may ask, we can also write the code in VS Code. Yes, we can use Visual Studio Code Editor also. So these are all editor tools, which is commonly used in our Python development. So first we'll see interactive mode, script mode, then after IDLE and PyCharm and VS Code. These are the editors. Finally, our regular editor is PyCharm editors. Once we launch PyCharm editor, from then onwards, we'll continuously discuss all Python programs and application code with what editor? PyCharm editor. And even Visual Studio Code also better, but the Visual Studio Code I'll introduce at the time of Django development. Okay, so both editors we will try to launch so that you will get multiple editor experience. You can know that clearly how to manage the code in PyCharm editor as well as how to manage the code in VS Code editor, Visual Studio Code. So PyCharm is the best option for beginning level or entry level of Python programming learning process. So this PyCharm is the best option, I can say that, because once you start write code in PyCharm editor, you will never get confused in the initial stage of learning. And proper editors we have to use in the initial stage of learning. So if you don't use proper editor, you will get unnecessary confusion in the syntactical rules and regulations by following, and you don't understand how the way you have to write the code. Because if you use interactive mode, script mode, ideally, you will not get any IntelliSense option. IntelliSense means while writing the logic, the pop-up window should open actually. While writing the code, we have to use proper editor codes. See, while writing the code, you have to get IntelliSense option and support is required. That support is present or available in PyCharm editor and Visual Studio Code. Okay. So this is different ways to write Python logic and execute. So in tomorrow's session, we will try to discuss these all 5 options: interactive mode through how to write logic, script mode through how to write logic, using IDLE, and even PyCharm editor as well as Visual Studio Code through also how to write the logic we'll discuss in detail. So this is the second demonstration which we completed today. And if you are new to this session, I strongly recommend to watch my first video. So even our team will contact to you after after completion of this demo session. They will mail you with the previous yesterday demo video link along with the course content, and you can observe, then you can decide. And you can feel free to attend 2 more demo sessions tomorrow as well as day after tomorrow. After completion of demo sessions, we will start our regular sessions with the new link only. So before going to start regular session, after attending 2 more demos tomorrow and after tomorrow, you must enroll for this course only. For that, please contact DURGASOFT if really interested to continue with my all lecture. Feel free to attend tomorrow and day after tomorrow demo also. Okay. So that's all from my side today. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask me. Right. So thanks for attending this session. Please feel free to attend tomorrow and day after tomorrow free demos with same link, same time. Have a nice day.